Hi, everybody. Very glad to be here for this conference and talk to you about some trends in digital health and insurance and what could be the impact for the future of the industry, especially for insurers, leading to a concept that we have introduced of embedded health. So it's a common knowledge that in the banking industry, there's been a massive adoption of digital offering and new models. But look at the facts. It's really amazing. Digital banking, over 85% of the consumers have adopted it. Fintech services, innovative one like e-wallet, over 50% of the population. So really tremendous adoption. Interestingly, insurers now are really definitely catching up. There is a strong acceleration of transformation, especially post-COVID. These have been driven by technology advancement happening everywhere in every piece of the industry. Also competition with new entries, new players coming in fully digitized. So incumbents have been taking action. The thickness for getting additional return, finding growth opportunities, but more importantly, driven by customer needs, who are in any industries now surrounded by a fully digital experience. So actually, if we start to think about digitalization of insurance and also what's happening in healthcare, that could set a new era. And we look at it through first understanding what has been the boom in digital health and why it matters for insurers. And then looking at this combination of digital health and insurance, what are the business model that we can witness now? And finally, what are the challenges that insurers face and how they can turn it into values through case studies with forward-looking insurers. So first, digital health, definitely on track for a massive transformation of healthcare industries. Look at some key figures, whatever the worth of digital health market. Impressively, the CAGR forecasted over 25% year on year. The share of the global healthcare forecasted by 2025 above or nearly 15%, and really a large funding keeping rising. And what appear the most representative service clusters that have been funded and have now really a significant scale, we find out the healthcare booking and telemedicine platform. Also in the insurance and health insurance space, right? Pure digital health platform. In more the prevention side, fitness and wellness platform. On the disease side, really chronic disease management, tools to help people to manage by themselves their disease, but also towards healthcare professionals through AI to drive further efficiencies. So now looking at consumer sides is definitely bringing meaningful values, right? Whatever in terms of services, helping people, in terms of impacting positively the health of people, in terms of reducing the risk for disease or complications, but also making more affordable to access medical services. And we can look at it here through a simple example around a pregnant woman journey and how that could connect to an insurance journey. So if you think about an app that would help monitor pregnancy, track vital health of the kid or the future kid, check the overall health of the mothers and any needed follow-ups, help the mother when she faces, or the pregnant woman, future mother, when she faces symptoms, to understand what potential issues behind and what should be the course of actions. Activate as needed a doctor online to make it easier for access, simple follow-ups and make it easy to book and to her specialist that she needs. So now looking at that journey, you have multiple entry points for customers into that journey and also the linkage with the insurance. Whatever we talk about medical insurance or a maternity coverage or a maternity complication protection, or even for the future kid, right? A critical illness product or even a saving product. So the journey could be around buying an insurance policy and then getting access to the services, or having a medical insurance policy, but then buying extra coverage and then triggering access to those services. But it could also start just by experiencing the services themselves, right? Accessing this free pregnancy monitoring app and then subscribe to a policy that can expand, the level of services offered. So that's where we see naturally a combination of health and digital health and insurance. And that could have tremendous gain for the industry. First, you look at 8,000 health tech ventures that could be opportunities to bring valuable services through partnership. It's also about the closing the protection gap, right? 750 billion in 2020, and 60% of it come from an emerging market. So having digital offering easier to access, more affordable plans definitely would contribute to close this gap. But also ultimately making the product finally, customer centric. Today, most products remain generic categories of insurance, and the ability to finally tailor health services and insurance for specific population, specific segment, I think would change drastically the industry. So question mark, insurers, are there relevant industry stakeholders to play a significant role? There is an interesting study published last year by Rollenberger, interviewing experts, interviewing consumers across the globe. And one of the questions was, who would be your preferred partner to support your health, whatever you are more on a healthy and prevention journey, or more helping you with disease. And actually, at least 1 out of 6 consumers stated insurer. So definitely insurer have a role to play, and very key for insurance company to jump into the train, right? Because this train goes fast and there are many new players, and this is either you are on it or you'll stay on the side forever. So now, if you look at this combination of digital health and insurance, what are the business models that we are witnessing? Actually, there are 4 models that have been already very well demonstrated, first outside healthcare. Look at sales and distribution platforms. It's really about bringing e-commerce, point of sales plugin, all the tools and integration, enabling sales, and this covering from customer relationship to sales analytics, to empower anyone to be able to distribute or sell products. And example, for instance, Shopify, that allow any website to become really an e-commerce player. And that started to happen also in insurance with, for instance, Element or Penny.io for embedded insurance. You have also the digital first players leading to super apps, and these are consumer-facing brands. They have from day one, a modern tech infrastructure application that could allow them to evolve fast with market needs. They expand their offering all-in-one solutions so that they can address different needs of customers. And we have very common, experience here in Asia, from WeChat to Grab, but also in Europe with some super apps, fintech coming out through, Revolut or Lydia. Then you have the X as a service enabler, and X could be about banking, about retail, about gaming. And what is characteristic about those models usually have behind it operating systems, right? Coming in with cloud-based services, pre-built functionalities, integrated APIs, a low-code framework, and really to fulfill an end-to-end digitized and user-centric experience. The journeys could be very personalized and very quickly to deploy. So we have already example in the financial services with fintech or in the bank with Railbank or Sure in insurance. And finally, the digital ecosystem orchestrator. This is really about looking at different companies, partners that join an ecosystem, and that ecosystem really augment the value for each partner. It expands the reach to customers, touch points, and ultimately it's really about end-to-end business flow, right? The logic is there across the partners and can potentially even lead to a unified digital experience. A very strong example in the financial services with Plaid, but also now in insurance with Wacom in Europe, or more closer to us out of Asia with Boltec that has already expanded globally. So what is interesting is that those 4 models are also valid paths in healthcare. If we look at sales and distribution platform, you can look at Ping and Good Doctor, as a way really to, through first a telemedicine offering, to connect with non-customers, right? And then enable the ability to subscribe policies, but also to subscribe any other product or services that could be relevant for them, down to even medication. You have another example here, MIC or microinsurance, which allow to unlock very small policies and hospital cash benefits. And this is plug in banks, gig platform, any existing businesses that have consumer base that could be interesting to have a complementary coverage to what they have. In the second category, you can find, of course, Oscar, Alan, full digital native insurer, but also some traditional players who have been going first, digital with their offerings, such as Prudential Asia with Pulse. In the health as a service enabler, you found, for instance, Lifen in Europe, who really position as an OS for hospitals and connecting many valuable technology and services to allow hospitals to bring this live for their customers. You have CareVoice, we'll talk more about it for sure in the insurance space, or Commure in the US, which really have a very bold ambition to become the OS layer across the healthcare industry. As part of digital ecosystem orchestrator, a few examples. Vitality actually was one of the very first players starting to pull a network of partners, being able all together to augment value for the beneficiary of Vitality, but also for each partner in the ecosystem. While CareVoice is also playing an active role differently in that model. So whatever those four models, you have very important capabilities that a player should have to enable those models. And that's true for an insurer tomorrow that would like to move into those directions. So first two capabilities around modern insurance infrastructure and a health and wellness integrated ecosystem. Actually, the modern insurance infrastructure is critical to be able to plug and play with any insurance systems, from inside to outside in terms of policy and claim information, but also configure any insurance product and the related customer experience, even linking down to pre-sales with the link and the integration with online broker or agent portal. We see this ecosystem on health and wellness really ideally being an open, global, and localized ecosystem across the health journey continuum. The technology or services should have demonstrated value to end user and insurance, and the easy ability to integrate in that ecosystem any existing services contracted or deployed by insurers, right? And ultimately, the customer experience should be integrated across those technology and services with the necessary data action and security happening. Then it's about empowering any mobile experience, right? So API SDK, so meaning that headless solution, so that wherever the customer is, it can use its preferred app, and that preferred app could be empowered and configuring any functionalities according to who is his group of customers, who the plan, what is the plan behind it, what are the employer and the different employees' benefits, and ability to brand and customize obviously this experience. The fourth core element is around a centralized membership account and health risk profiling. The ability first to have a very simple and systematic identification process, right? So that whatever services you're going to use, you can directly, seamlessly activate it, use it, and have all the data exchange in place with those third parties so that you can centralize any data that are needed to operate, but also that are generated those services so that you can ultimately profile the users, right? Enrich their profile, have the ability to understand their health profile and their risk profile. Obviously giving the full control to the user. Last but not least, you have this foundation, but then you need to be able to enable engagement, right? And having capability that are around an engagement framework, assessing people's health or interests, setting goals, engaging, rewarding, that this engagement around health is not monodimensional, but multidimensional, and can be valuable for different population and customer needs, and ultimately closing the loop with rewards, especially being able to connect with marketplace, who are a key enabler for operating those rewards. Finally, when you have this, it's about going a step further towards personalization, right? How you can have a match between health services and the insurance coverage to specific population. how you can also brand the customer experiences towards each of these population that you want to service, and even enable non-insurance channels just with health services that are relevant for their customers and a freemium model to be able to easily engage with them and then turn them into insurance policyholders. So these are 6 fixed capabilities that some of these models require. Part of them, some are overlapping, but are, I think, important capabilities when you look at combination of digital health and insurance and the power that can bring to the industry. So now let's get into some concrete examples. First, these are some of the challenges that insurers may face. At the same time, they could be turned into really tangible and strong values. Time, obviously, if you look at the ability to connect with those health tech, really scout, partner, integrate, build the foundation layer, technology foundation. It could take not a huge amount of time, right? And time is precious. So how to speed time? Cost, similarly, the development now. It's available. Many resources are available to build, but at the same time, this is highly costly, and what you build one day may be obsolete the day after, and the technology advancement require continuous upgrade. So thinking about cost is really cost of building or opening, but also how to maintain, how to lower operational costs also associated with. So it's a holistic view to take on this. User experience is a critical component. And if you are a technology company, it's part of your DNA, right? You're thinking about how to make the user experience the most smooth as possible. So that's also a key area where sometimes when coming from the insurance or large organization, it could be a gap and a very important value to realize. If you look at data in the insurance space, I think still many insurers are the beginning of thinking about especially their health data strategy. So how to turn that really into an opportunity to leverage expertise around data, about structuring data, around extracting value out of data and bringing back to insurers so that they can really take advantage of it. And finally, the ecosystem orchestration. So those players out there are, again, you've been seeing that digital health, many waves already of innovation, and it will keep going. So the ability to continuously maintain and upgrade or replace with the latest valuable digital health is critical, and this is an area where insurance can gain tremendous value. So now looking at a few examples where CareVoice with its OS have been really a strong tech partner of insurance companies. First with Generali, starting out of Hong Kong and now expanding across multiple markets in Asia for small and medium enterprise, so health insurance for small and medium enterprise. And this is where our modern insurance infrastructure have allowed us to very easily translate dynamic benefits into fully digitized experience for policyholders benefiting from group medical insurance, and also servicing this younger population with a fully easy access online to health services. And finally, finding new ways to commercialize those products, because now you have a number of companies, especially digital companies servicing SMEs, so embedding through the non-insurance channel this relevant health insurance and reach more customers. AIG in China, these have been building really added value services platform and vendor management. I think the key issues for some insurers are around having contracted with a number of third-party health service providers, whatever doctor line, helping for booking, checkup. All these services are mostly delivered in silo outside insurance customer experience, offline, maybe just a call center. So how to digitize the customer experience across those services, right? How to lower the cost of operation, easing the service administration, and centralize the usage data. And even, once you bring that back to the policyholders, allowing them for self-pay, and meaning activating more of those services on their own, if they want, for instance, to extend for, from 3 to 10 teleconsultation, or to have an upgraded checkup offering, we're making this much more efficient. Third example with Cigna, similarly started out of Hong Kong and expanding across other Asian markets, really around tailoring and offering for a specific population, in this case, women, where Cigna had a very interesting insurance portfolio, but not really the service offering, making that product offering truly valuable. So, combining insurance and services into one single customer experience through the services, attract and engage and retain targeted population, and also further fuel the ability to open non-insurance channels with this relevant offering. And final case, really about this super app, which can be now in the hand of any insurance company to bring to their existing or non-existing or not yet policyholders, right? So building a super app, a health ecosystem orchestration. This is what we've been doing with Prudential, first starting with out of China with Prudential with the JV with Fosun, and then expanding in LATAM and also in other Asian markets. And very interestingly, it's really about bringing under one umbrella all the services, including Vitality, that Prudential launched in Brazil and Argentina, into one umbrella, a super app, and then providing an holistic view, whatever across physical, mental, or even financial wellness, and how to support the end user around those dimensions. And this common OS across geographies then can be localized in each market with the local teams, and even going down to different front-end solution and experience across the partners or the channels that Prudential may have in those markets to really expand their footprint. So I hope through that session, you've been able to get a sense of how the industries, health and insurance, are evolving and may have a common feature around this concept of embedded health, right? 3 key elements really to have in mind around this concept. First is really the combination of insurance with a wide range of health services. Second is about preferred app, right? Meaning as an end user, I'm going to use my preferred app, and there I will have what I need for supporting my health needs, and ultimately making a fully seamless and personalized experience. So about this new concept, stay tuned. A white paper is about to come. It's been written with Sabine van der Linden, who is one of the leading InsurTech experts globally. So don't hesitate to reach out to learn more. Thank you.